Hey, so this is Dishant from Unica University Common Application. I recommend you to watch AAU television.
AAU TV is the place to be for every person in higher education in Africa. Better be there or be nowhere.
Continuez de regarder la télé et surtout sur le AAU.
Keep watching it and it will change the way you interact with higher education on the continent. AAU, great job.
I want to tell you that AAU television is fantastic, it's educative.
Good morning to you from Ghana, wherever you're watching us, and this is Hello Africa Morning Show. You're watching us live from the headquarters of the AAU here in Accra, Ghana. My name is Isabella Teta Hinakwa, and I'm here with my co-host,
Philemon Edwards.
Philemon, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine myself. And how was your weekend?
It was good. Adulthood. You know, one program to the other, and I didn't have any rest.
Right. Myself, I had time for myself. I went out on Saturday and then relaxed on Sunday.
It's reflecting on you.
The energy. Right. So what do we have for our viewers today?
Well, this morning we're talking about UTAG. We are talking about Galamsey. We are talking about Mpox again. And I'm happy to see in the mix today that there's a woman leading Morocco's aerospace industry, which is a good thing. So these and maybe more are the things coming up.
Exactly.
Program.
Exactly. So stick with us as we go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Has declared an indefinite strike, which was effective 10th October 2024, to support a nationwide ban on mining in ecologically sensitive areas. This follows an overwhelming vote by UTAC members across 15 branches, demanding immediate government action to protect the environment from destructive mining practices.
With about 78% of its members backing the industrial action, UTAG called for a nationwide ban on mining and prospecting activities in forest areas, farmlands, and water bodies. The association's National Executive Council, NEC, says this strike represents a decisive mandate to safeguard Ghana's natural resources and ensure the sustainability of local communities. The strike action comes amid rising public discontent over the impact of illegal mining activities, which have left vast areas of forest reserves and farmlands devastated and severely polluted many of the country's rivers and water bodies. UTAC's Executive Council has described this mandate as decisive and invoked Article 19, Clause 5 of its constitution, allowing the association to strike in matters of national importance. UTAG has made it clear that the strike will continue indefinitely until the government responds by officially instituting the ban. The association also urges members to remain steadfast, describing the industrial action as part of a critical national cause. This action adds to the mounting pressure on the government, which has been widely criticized for its failure to tackle the Galamsey crisis. While government officials have made various attempts to curb illegal mining in recent years, including the deployment of security forces, many believe that more effective and decisive measures are needed. UTAG's strike could further intensify calls for stronger regulatory frameworks to safeguard Ghana's environment. As the strike takes effect, the impact on public universities across the country is expected to be significant, with many academic activities potentially grinding to a halt.
Still on the fight against illegal mining, the Catholic Archdiocese of Accra, Ghana, held a protest walk on Friday, 11th October 2024 against illegal mining, that is Galamsey, following a service of preparation at the Holy Spirit Cathedral. The event brought together Catholic worshippers, environmental activists, and members of the public, all united in their call to end the devastation caused by illegal mining.
During the service, Reverend Father Godwin Fiawoyi, SVD, led prayers urging for divine intervention in the fight against environmental destruction. He encouraged participants to remain firm in their advocacy to protect Ghana's natural resources and ensure a sustainable future. Protesters, including members of the activist group Crusaders Against Galamsey, held placards with powerful messages condemning Galamsey. Demonstrators peacefully marched through the designated routes, guided by the police officers to ensure order during the procession. Chief Crusader Emmanuel Wilson Jr. reiterated the group's demand for permanent and enforceable measures to combat illegal mining. While acknowledging the government's directive for military intervention and regulation of small-scale mining, Wilson emphasized that a complete halt to illegal mining activities was the only way to effectively protect the environment. The protest highlights the growing dissatisfaction among Ghanaians with the government's effort to curb Galamsey, which continues to pollute rivers, destroy farmlands, and deplete forest reserves. Many protesters voiced concerns about the long-term damage being done to Ghana's natural resources, calling for stronger laws and more decisive action to address the Galamsey crisis. The event is part of an ongoing effort by civil society and religious groups to keep pressure on the government to adopt more stringent policies that will safeguard the nation's ecological future.
And in our next story, Zambia's health ministry has confirmed the country's first case of mpox detected in a 32-year-old Tanzanian national. The case, reported on Thursday, October 10, 2024, raises concern about the potential local transmission of the virus, which has recently spread across neighboring African countries.
The Tanzanian patient arrived in Zimbabwe in early September and traveled extensively within the country. Symptoms began to manifest in October 2nd, including muscle aches, fatigue, and sore throat. Health authorities raised concerns that the patient's travel history and interactions with various communities could increase the risk of local transmissions and even cross-border spread. The patient is currently receiving treatment at a rural health center, while Zambia's health minister has initiated intensive contact tracing to locate and monitor everyone who may have been exposed. In a statement, the ministry stated, given the patient's extensive travel history and interactions at multiple points in Zambia, there is a heightened risk of local transmissions and potential cross-border spread. To mitigate further spread, the government has ramped up public awareness campaigns and risk communication efforts in all areas the patient visited. The country's surveillance and response teams remain on high alert for any additional cases of mpox. This development follows the World Health Organization declarations of mpox as a global public health emergency in August 2024 for the second time in 2 years. The outbreak is linked to the emergence of the new Clade 1b variant, which has been spreading from the Democratic Republic of Congo to neighboring countries. This variant is believed to spread more easily through routine close contact, prompting increased vigilance worldwide.
And still on mpox, Ghana has confirmed the second case of the mpox virus in the Western North region, as reported by the Ghana Health Service. The infected individual, the mother of the first confirmed case, developed symptoms after close contact with her child.
The 15-year-old male, who was the first recorded case, sought treatment at a local district hospital on September 25, 2024, for symptoms including fever, muscle ashes, sore throat, a rash that started on his palms and face but later spread onto the other parts of his body. Health authorities quickly identified his mother as a contact and further tested confirmed she has also contracted mpox. Dr. Franklin Asiedu Berkun, Director of Public Health at Ghana Health Service, disclosed that 32 individuals who had come in contact with the 2 confirmed cases are currently being monitored for the next 21 days. The GHS has intensified its surveillance systems across the country and large community engagement programs to raise awareness about diseases and its transmissions. The public is being urged to avoid direct physical contact with infected individuals or those displaying symptoms, as the virus spreads primarily through skin-to-skin contact. Mpox, which was previously known as monkeypox, causes flu-like symptoms including fever, muscle ashes, swollen lymph nodes, and a rash that could at least last for several weeks. Whilst the disease is often mild, it can cause complications in individuals with weakened immune systems. The GHS assured that although the virus can spread through close contact, no death has been reported so far in Ghana, and also those infected are receiving appropriate care. Authorities in the West North region, where the cases were detected, have also activated public health emergency measures to contain any potential outbreak.
And to wrap up today's top African news, we celebrate a significant development in Morocco's aerospace sector. Zahira Bouda has been appointed as the Managing Director of Safran Aircraft Engine Services. This historic appointment makes her the first female Managing Director in Morocco's aerospace industry, marking a major milestone for women in the field that has traditionally been male-dominated.
Bouda, with over 17 years of experience in finance and leadership, is the first woman to lead an aerospace company in Morocco. Her new role sees her at the helm of the joint venture between Safran Aircraft Engines and Royal Air Maroc, which specializes in the maintenance of CFM56 engines for the aviation industry. Bouda takes over leadership at Safran Aircraft Engine Services Morocco, located at Casablanca's Mohammed V International Airport, a critical hub for the company's operations. Before this, she served as president of Matis Aerospace, a Safran and Boeing joint venture, where she was instrumental in navigating the company through the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Under her leadership, the company made difficult decisions, including workforce reductions, but Bouda's commitment to protecting jobs where possible remained steadfast. Trained as a chartered accountant, Bouda's rise in the aerospace industry is particularly noteworthy given her lack of a technical background. Her career began in finance as CFO at Matis Aerospace in 2006, and her strong leadership qualities saw her rise to president in 2020. Beyond her corporate achievements, Bouda is a dedicated advocate for women's education, particularly in Morocco's rural areas, where access to academic opportunities for girls remains limited. She holds degrees in business administration and chartered accountancy from the prestigious Superior Institute of Commerce and Administration and Enterprises in Morocco. Her success is not just a personal victory, but a testament to the growing role of women in shaping the future of Morocco's aerospace industry.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the news portal review.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello Africa, keep watching AAU TV the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
You're welcome back from the break. If you just joined, this is Hello Africa Morning Show, proudly sponsored by Vena Purified Water and Bico Drinks. You can follow our discussions on our social media handles at Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube. Now, to begin with the news portal review, the first story is taken from the University World News, and it's looking at millions of euros in Erasmus Plus being funded meant for Africa, but not being used. Now, despite the EU's Erasmus Plus program allocating millions of euros in scholarships and funding to Africa, many opportunities remain unused. African academic institutions are slow to take advantage of these offers, leaving vital resources untapped. The European Union has provided over 100,000 scholarships to Africa, yet only a small fraction has been utilized. A key reason is the lack of awareness about the program, said Henriette Gelger, the EU ambassador to Kenya. Erasmus Plus offers African students and universities opportunities in 6 key areas, including international credit mobility and Erasmus Mundus joint masters. However, barriers such as a complicated application process and inadequate information sharing have limited participation. Efforts are being made to support applicants and spread awareness, including that as DAADs offer to assist with applications. Despite these challenges, funding for the Sub-Saharan Africa region remains substantial, with 570 million euros allocated from 2021 to 2027. Phil, an opportunity for African students and universities from the Erasmus Plus initiative. I think as part of the EU-AU innovation agenda, and since 2021, it's a 2021 to 2027 project, but according to research and some evaluations they've done, Africans are not using these opportunities. Well, what would you say about this?
Well, I think it's unfortunate. Like the article says, that one of the reasons is the lack of awareness about the program.
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure why there's the lack of awareness, but either ways, even if it's coming from the people funding, okay, who are not making the information available for people to be aware. I think that young people should be daring enough to look into things that can make them succeed, which includes education. So if there are scholarships, and look at the figure that's there, over 570 million euros worth of scholarship available, and nobody's taking advantage of it. I don't know how much fraction we are making use of in Africa, but the article says just a small fraction. I mean, for me, it's unfortunate. I wish that young people, if you ask me, would be more daring, would take their destinies into their own hands and take initiatives to try to be, to make sure they are on top of the game. Because if you look, I always tell young people when I meet them that when you're born in Africa, honestly, I don't think it's a disadvantage. But you see, because of the nature of our continent, somehow it's like naturally you are disadvantaged. Okay, Africa has challenges. You narrow it down to families and you realize that not many families are doing so well. So so it trickles down when you are looking at the chain of challenges that people are going through with the identity of an African. So I feel like young people must do more. They must be daring. And I'm saying these things on authority because I've had the opportunity to lead a minimum of about 3,000 young people. We organize programs for them. You bring resource persons. And at the end of the day, even when the resource persons have spoken and the subject is interesting, people are sharing their wild by it. They are interested in what's going on. But after the session, nobody even comes close to the resource person
to ask
say,
more information,
to ask more questions,
yeah.
or say, okay, maybe I want you to mentor me.
Yeah.
I want to take your contact. They don't even come to those of us who organize the program to say, link me up to the person that you got. So I feel like it's a major setback for a lot of Africans, and I'm speaking in the context of Ghana because this is where I am. But across the globe, you can tell that this is a challenge, because if there's over 570 million worth of euros of scholarship available,
yeah,
and it's not being used, then there's a challenge. So I will encourage young people to.
Yeah, so I really support what you were saying with regards to the example, the scenario you gave with students not coming out, even after being introduced to an opportunity, coming out to ask for more information, the directions and guidelines. So I even noted this lack of interest. It's also one of the challenges whereby African students and even the universities are not tapping into these opportunities. You know, as part of the SEED project, we did a research just to identify the needs and gaps within the research and innovation industry. And during our conversation or our engagement with researchers, they made mention, okay, there are opportunities, there are fundings there, but one of the biggest challenges is the bureaucracy, the method, the process to go through, especially with the government institutions, the process to go through to get to that opportunity. It's quite long, and it takes time and a whole lot. You have to pass this, you have to write this, and but the opportunity is there. But before you leave your country to apply for that opportunity, it will take a while and a long process. So that is one of the challenges they face. And for them to even get to that opportunity, there's also another challenge, because the opportunity is there, the funding is there, but the focus of the funding is quite different from what they want. So the funding will be there. Maybe they are focusing on innovations. Maybe even the innovations, maybe they are focusing on health, or maybe they are just focusing on student affairs, or maybe environment. But what you want is quite different from what the funding is provided. Do you get what I'm saying? So the opportunity is there, but the access, you have to go first. You have to align with the goals of the project before. And I like here they've clarified that it's six key areas, which is the international credit, mobility, and Erasmus Mundus joint masters, among others. So I'm sure from this our discussions, people are hearing about it. They'll go and then look into it to get more knowledge and be aware of these six key areas, so that if they are interested, they can. It's not too late. I mean, 2027, we have like 3 years more to tap into this opportunity. But it's quite sad for when you look at the percentage, it's even lesser than 1% of tapping into the Erasmus Plus funding opportunity.
Let me quickly add this. I can agree with you about the lack of interest, and also with the issue of where the programs that are available are for some specific, let me say, people, or maybe specific programs. So maybe people do not have an interest there. But for me, that also means that wherever the funding is coming from and where they are focusing on, there's a need there. So maybe people must start thinking about the fact that, okay, the other areas are probably choked. And it will be difficult to be more successful there. So look into the other areas. So I think people must start thinking out of the box and start considering other options. Because you should first ask yourself, what has been your track record from maybe from grad school and whatever. I mean, undergrad to grad school. Like, look at your background and see what progress you have made. If you can quickly do a switch. Many of the courses we do in school are interconnected. So if you can quickly do a switch, it would probably pave the way for anybody. So people listening should take advantage of this.
I agree with you, because the opportunity is there. It's just you to align with it and then tap into it. Besides, it's all to the development of the continent as a whole. Our next story.
Okay, so on to our next story. African universities play a crucial role in pushing the continent towards self-reliance and reducing dependency on external funding. Emphasized African Union official Bato Kebabonye Bayendi during the first Africa-Europe Clusters of Research Excellence (CORE) conference in South Africa. Bayendi highlighted the need for African nations to take responsibility for their development, especially through funding research and innovation, aligning with the AU's Agenda 2063 for socio-economic transformation. She called for universities to invest in impactful research and quality education to empower the next generation and tackle Africa's challenges. Bayende stressed that while international partnerships like those with the EU are important, Africa must prioritize the domestic resource mobilization to ensure true equality and ownership of its development. African countries invest only 0.45% of their GDP in research. This is far below the global average. And this is a serious issue, if you ask me. That Africa is investing not even up to 1% of their GDP in research. This is sad. What do you think, Bella?
So comparing to the global percentage, which is 1.7, it is quite low, and it is also one of the challenges we face when we're engaging the researchers. They made mention that the government do not put funds into, especially research.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. So
that's bad.
So yes. So this is actually in line, like in connection with what we discussed earlier. So some of the things they do is to write proposals to acquire funding from the international institutions, and they have their own focus. They have their own needs. They know what they want to tap from. Let me use Ghana. So let's say CSIR writes proposal to ENDAD or the EU for funding. The focus is different. It's far different from what the government wants to achieve, maybe in a year or during their term of government. Do you get what I'm saying? So it really calls on the government to look at to focus on research, because for you to identify your gaps, for you to know what your country needs, it's through research. And then the solutions are in the innovation. So if you don't focus on this, how are you going to develop? How are you going to progress from time to time? And now they in all, Africa as a continent only invest 0.45%. Zero.
It's not even up to 1%.
It's not even 0.6 or 0.5. 0.45%. And this is calling as, yes, okay, if the opportunity is there from the funders, the EUs, and the other international world, and then maybe you can't tap into it, you can also find ways and means to acquire fundings for yourself locally, and then tap and do research and then come up with innovations, products and services to address needs in the market. It's quite sad, especially when looking at the limited focus on research and innovation, which is currently one of the biggest solutions for Africa.
In Africa. I'm disappointed to hear this, because I think many governments across Africa are not interested in research.
Not at all.
If we want to know about our countries in Africa, we want to know about the continent. We have said this before in past episodes of this program. The story can be best told by Africans. So if we are not investing in the research, I don't think anybody is going to come from Europe or America to come and do the research on our behalf. Even if that happens, what I believe, given my little knowledge of research, that information or data that will be gathered will be skewed towards their interest. If they are interested in doing something here, there is a focus.
Of course.
If that focus doesn't align with what we need, then there's a contrast. So then we are going to have challenges in there. So I think that Africans, or let me say the African countries and the governments that are ruling the countries, must do more, because 0.45%, like we are not even up doing 1% of our GDP. Like it's so poor. It's so poor. So I wonder what our universities are doing. So it's good that the AU is highlighting these challenges. So we need to do more. If African leaders are watching, they're hearing us, please do more. Invest in research in this continent.
So wondering what our universities are doing, they are actually working, they are actually doing the research, but the end result doesn't belong to us, because you are not funding them.
Exactly.
They are getting the funds from outside. So, but what I would say or advise or recommend to our government is, probably you may not have the money to start the research, but you've had some donors coming in. So whatever the findings or whatever the product that comes out from the research and innovation, you can tap into it and then replicate. When you're replicating, that belongs to you, because you are funding that. So let the donors do the initial stage. I mean, support the initial stage of the research. They come up with the findings. Fine, it belongs to them. But then you still have your people. So you just tap into it and then they replicate it so that it will be able to address our needs, and that would be my recommendation, though, because
it's key.
They are doing research. We do a lot of research, but just because of funding, we don't get the appropriate funds from the government. It gets somewhere else.
Well,
it's quite sad.
Anyway.
Still on the University World News, the 21st edition of the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, released on 9th October 2024, ranked a total of 135 universities from 19 African countries, highlighting both progress and challenges for African higher education institutions. The University of Cape Town, UCT, in South Africa maintained its position as Africa's highest ranked university, though it slipped to 180th place, down from 167th last year, and was the only African institution in the top 200 globally. Despite the growth in participation, especially from sub-Saharan Africa, where the number of ranked universities rose from 42 to 54, the continent experienced some setbacks, with many institutions seeing declines in their rankings. South Africa, with the most top universities in Africa, saw 7 universities drop in rankings while none improved. Notably, 5 African universities made it into the top 500, 4 from South Africa, that is UCT, Stellenbosch University, Wits at the University of Johannesburg, and Morocco's Mohammed VI Polytechnic University, marking a positive development for North Africa. Countries such as Egypt, Algeria, and Nigeria had the highest number of ranked universities, but their institutions mostly fell into lower bands. Egypt's highest ranked university, that is the the Egypt-Japan University of Science and Technology, improved slightly to the 501 to 600 band. Phil, World University rank is out. And then although we have some African universities, especially UCT, that's the University of Cape Town, maintaining its position, but a bit down. They've seen some negative side and some positive side from this ranking, where some of the universities have dropped. And then some new emerging universities taking positions in the top 600 band. What's your say? What do you think is the problem? What are we not doing, and why the drop? And then how are some emerging and some taking? I mean,
well, I think that overall, higher education in Africa is good.
Oh, it is.
And we need to.
It's just a resource. The infrastructure. But when it comes to the system, the curriculum, I mean, it's good. I mean, everybody can attest to it.
We need to move on from knowing that it's good. I think that a lot of institutions pride themselves in what they do and the achievements that they get year after year. But I think that the institutions need to do more. It's okay to know that you are good, but if you don't do more year after year, when we have these rankings coming out, we will be seeing things like this. And as you can see, the situation has not really improved. There's some sort of a decline. This details for me, it just tells that even though we are doing well, a lot more can be done. Recently, again, on the show, we have discussed institutions in other countries where I don't know if I should say because of the lack of they not being regulated or properly regulated, they have issued like fake certificates to people. So it means these institutions are not accredited. Things of this nature are the things that will go a long way to affect the continent's higher educational system if we keep hearing things of this nature. So the institutions themselves must do more. The regulating bodies of the institutions must make sure that things are being done right. Like when you are trying to make things happen, make sure that the institutions you are giving accreditation to, they have what they need infrastructure wise, they have the curriculum in place, like they are doing the things that they are supposed to do. And year after year, I don't know what standards they have or what criteria they have that they use to measure the progression of what the institutions are doing. But I believe there's some sort of performance indicator.
Yeah,
so these things should be upgraded maybe year after year or maybe over time. I don't know how they are going to do it, but they can find a way.
Yeah. So
and this is what will bring the universities to the top levels that we are looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are looking at trying to align our activities. There are actually indicators. According to the Times Higher Education, there are 18 indicators which have been grouped into five
pillars.
Yes. So the first one is teaching, which is the learning environment. It looks at the learning environment. The second one is the research environment, which looks at the volume of your research, the income, and then the reputation of the research. The third is the research quality, your citation impact, how many people have cited your research, the research strength, how important is it, like how trending it is, how is it going to impact on your community? Yeah, let me put it that way. And then the research excellence and research influence. The fourth one looks at the international outlook, the number of international staff you have, the number of international students you have, and even the international collaboration when it comes to research. And then the last one is the industry, looking at your income and then the patent. What have you been able to offer the industry with your research and findings? So these are some of the main 5 indicators to be able to get to the top. Now, there are issues, or people are questioning. There are lots of people questioning these indicators. That is, which they think is preventing or is blocking African universities from attaining the highest rank. Because looking at this, even our highest university was UCT, which had the 180th position out of that numerous posts. And the reason people are saying that the indicators actually do not is not contextualized. Like, it doesn't really fit our strength.
The African context.
Exactly, our strength. So we may be trying to achieve them, but it's not something we can really look at, because when you look at the international outlook, for instance, yes, there are institutions that are admitting international students, but where's the interest? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get you.
If a student out there is not really interested to come and school here or school in an African university, how would you be able to rank me with that? I mean, I'm trying, I am doing my best, but the interest is not there. Looking at research, if there are no fundings, we have challenges with fundings. We have lack or inadequate infrastructure and all that. So people are like, there are questions with regards to the indicators to attain a position with the university ranking.
So to take it from the point of the context, if indeed we haven't contextualized the indicators to fit the African context, then in a certain sense, I dare say that Africa is not being treated fairly on the rankings, because if the context doesn't fit, it's not fit for us, then we'll probably have to focus on ranking African universities.
Oh yeah, there's been a proposal for that.
Great.
We need to have indicators.
Then maybe we have to look at that and then see how we can make moves to meet the international standards beyond Africa. Maybe that's what we have to look at. But I mean, looking at the pillars you mentioned, the teaching, the research environment, knowledge transfer, and all of those things, I think that we have a good outlook there, if you ask me.
So why are we not?
So if in the first 200 universities, only one African university is there, and it has the 180th position, it's a big deal.
It is.
It is a big deal. But there are really good universities in Africa. So if this has not been contextualized, then maybe the people doing the rankings will have to look at these things and make sure that it's going to favor us. Not because we want to be favored, but if it does not, we don't fit the bill, I mean, then there's no point being in the rankings. You know?
Right. So we'll go for a quick break. We'll be back with to continue with the news portal reviews. Please stay tuned.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor, or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. the AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
The CGC Show is back on your screens. This season on the CGC Show bring you nothing short of interesting and of course educative interviews. We are going to delve into the areas of technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We will get interactive with our professional and well-experienced guests to educate us on how to attain the career path you have been dreaming of in TVET. On the show, we focus mainly on highlighting career opportunities and job prospects available in the program you are studying or yet to read at the tertiary level. Better yet, we help you understand that whatever venture you are in can contribute to the economic development of our beautiful continent. Join me, Mr. Ko, on the CGC Show on AAU TV as I engage experts and professionals to help build and nurture your career. The CGC Show, your trusted pathway to your dreams.
Hello Africa, keep watching AAU TV.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
You're welcome back from the break and thank you for sticking with us. We are still going to continue with the news portal review. Phil, what's our next story?
Okay, so in the next story, Zambia has passed a new law mandating that all tertiary institutions and employers must verify the qualification of prospective students and employees with the Zambia Qualification Authority. This legalization aims to safeguard academic integrity by ensuring that only individuals with legitimate certificates are enrolled or employed, addressing concerns about the rise of fake qualifications in the country. The Zambia Qualification Authority Act Number 8 of 2024 requires employers not to hire anyone whose qualifications haven't been verified by ZACA, and educational institutions cannot enroll students without verification of their qualifications. The law also imposes penalties on institutions that issue unregistered qualifications. Bella, what do you think about this story?
I totally agree to this action being taken because currently there's been a whole lot of news about people working with fake certificates, people applying for jobs with fake qualifications, and even students acquiring fake university certificates.
Yeah.
So I totally agree to this initiative. If it's the first time they are initiating such an act, but it's been like other countries are doing it. When it comes to Ghana, for instance, we have the National Accreditation Board, which oversees the accreditations and verifications of qualifications. When it comes to South Africa, they have the South African Qualification Authority as well, the SACA, which is also mandated to verify qualifications. We also, when we look at Kenya, they have the Commission for University Education as well. Then Nigeria, the National University Commission. When it comes to Uganda, they have the National Council for Higher Education. So there are a lot of institutions it cuts across all African countries. That ensures that they are accredited, or they accreditate institutions, their qualifications, and verify to ensure that whoever is employed or even a student, you have to acquire this qualification before you get there. It's good. At least looking at we focusing on quality assurance and all that.
Yeah.
It's a best step that to ensure that we have the adequate skills, the appropriate staff for teaching and learning, and even the students as well, because you can't just bring in any student who is even not ready to acquire knowledge and skills to influence other students who are ready to learn. So it's a good step. But then again, everything has its disadvantages. The story is also saying people do not support this initiative, especially when it comes to the fee structure. You have to pay before you be verified, and then you get the qualification to and when you look at the structure, we have the grade 7 to 12, and it comes with a prize. Then for diploma and certificates, there's also a prize. So the Zambia Federation of Employers, and also the Zambia National Union of Teachers are kind of concerned with the prize allocated to these verification structure, saying that some people do not have, looking at their background, they may not have the money to come for verification. So it's a challenge. So they do not really accept or want to accept the act or the initiative.
I totally agree with the federation here, in the sense that I think that when it comes to qualifications, rather the institutions running the programs and the regulating bodies of those institutions are the ones who must be held responsible. When they do things right from the beginning, I don't think the Zambia will come to that point where anybody must go to verify their qualification or anything of the sort. Because if the regulating body has done their job, the awarding institution has also done their job. Nobody has to go and verify anything. Because, for example, in Ghana, we know there's the National Accreditation Board. We know, for example, the University of Ghana. So if these two bodies are working correctly, and I've been to University of Ghana, I have done 4 years of a degree, there's my transcript to show. At the end of it, I'm awarded a certificate. And what else do I need to prove to who and for what? So I feel like these are issues more of for the institutions and the regulating bodies than to put individuals and organizations through this process, and you are charging them. Even if you're going to verify without charging, I'll probably say that would be the best to do. But look at the amount of money that they're charging.
So equivalent, the grade 7 to 12 is equivalent.
It's almost $2. That's about 50 Zambian kwacha. Okay. And Zambia is not like the masses are not like that rich. So you can't be charging all of these monies for people who are probably even about to start
and this
jobs.
will be like students.
Exactly. Yes. So people who are now entering the workforce for the first time. Fresh graduates. I mean, I feel it's a bit unfair.
Okay, so there are also some recommendations to tackle this challenge, especially with the price. So some are saying, okay, so let's say University of Ghana wants to employ a lecturer or maybe a faculty staff. So the cost should be it should be the responsibility of University of Ghana, ensuring to get the qualified staff. They need to bear the cost. Ensure that
because they are the one looking for the staff to be a part of their faculty. So I think that should go to the institution, not the individual.
So it should rely on the responsibility should be from the university who is trying to employ the employer.
I agree.
Let me say it like that. But also, how about me? I want to ensure that I am prepared. I am very well qualified. I want to know that the certificate I have is accurate, it's genuine. I can also bear the cost and also
if as an individual you want to do that, I think that's fair.
So we shouldn't always rely on other like employers trying to verify, or even developers and all that. We have to also it's to our own benefit.
Yes, I agree, but I still stand for the same point, because that's what I'm saying. If it's for an individual who wants to verify, that's fine. But if I am going to go to University of Ghana, I have to first of all be sure that University of Ghana is accredited.
Exactly.
So if I'm sure of those things, I don't think I'll graduate and have a certificate from University of Ghana and then have to go and
so it should start from the beginning.
Yeah. So if right from the beginning, if the processes are good from the regulating bodies to the institution and all of those, I don't think that there'll be the need for anybody to verify anything.
Okay, so now it looks like it's going to be a requirement. If you don't have this verification certificate, that means there's no way you are going to be employed or to even attain a school.
It's a challenge. I don't know how they are going to work around it, but I hope that they find a solution to it.
Yeah, there's also more content about this. It says there have been some content about Zacke's limited reach across Zambia, questioning whether the agency has the capacity to handle the volume of verification requests.
Exactly.
Look at the number.
Yes, because if everybody has to verify, it's going to be chaotic.
But there was a reply to this. A staff from the Zaka made mention they are well prepared and have the capacity and the skills to verify whatever number it's coming. So they are well prepared for that. That shouldn't be. They made mention it shouldn't be a problem for you. All you have to do is apply to be verified, and then you get your certificate as soon as possible. I really hope so.
Well, we can only be hopeful because I don't see the need for this. But well.
Oh, I was even about asking what do you think expected outcomes from this?
Well, I do get that they are trying to streamline probably or sanitize their higher educational system and all of that so that people are sure of the degrees they have received or they have been awarded and all of that, and certificates are in order. Like, I get all of that. But I think that it's a better way to do it than to ask the people or maybe those who have graduated to go through some sort of verification process again. I mean, I don't know how many graduates are in Zambia, but I mean, obviously, it's going to be a lot.
A number.
So look at the numbers and look at the federation says they are ready for all of those things, but I really don't know how effective this is going to be and how long it's going to take one person to go through the process, especially if you have to go through it to acquire a job and you are probably waiting to probably show your new HR or whoever is demanding the verification, that proof. I really don't know how it's going to work, but I just hope that
it will work. You will get it in the next 14 days, working days. So
anyway.
it will work. Right. Anyway. So moving on to the next story, still on the University World News, Algeria has inaugurated its first National Higher Institute of Cinema, named after renowned filmmaker Mohamed Lagda Hamina, in the city of Kole, Tibaza province. Now, the institute is designed to nurture talent in the cinematic arts, safeguard local culture, and contribute to the development of Algerian cinema on Arab, African, and global stages. The institute is set to offer licensed master's doctorate programs to its first cohort of students from the National Arts High School for the 2024-2025 academic year. In their first year, students will follow a core curriculum before specializing in various sectors in the film industry from the second year onward. The institute aims to promote Algeria's cultural heritage as reflected in the works of Hamina, the only Arab director to win the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. This initiative follows the recommendation of the 2021 UNESCO report, which called for workforce development to promote Africa's film industry. Dr. Boulam Bilan from Labi Ben Medi University and Dr. Jenny Amin from the University of Mohammed Sadiq and Banyin here both praised the institute as crucial for enhancing Algeria's film sector, helping to embed cultural heritage within the future of cinema and supporting economic growth through the knowledge-based economy. Phil. Yeah. So, Algeria has inaugurated its first National Higher Institute of Cinema. It's just like NAFCI here in Ghana, focused on cinematic and also incorporating the cultural heritage of the country into their film industry. I really, when I saw this, I was happy because, like, currently and now I see the focus is on no, the focus now is on our cultural heritage, especially with the film industry. People are like the governments and some institutions and some organizations are trying to bring the role of this industry into the development of a continent and the country. So I was happy to, there are some institutions there who are trying to, I mean, add film and cinema and cinematic into their curriculum, but this is fully specialized. If you're interested in movies, if you're interested in drama, if you're interested in music, art and all that, you have to apply to this institution. What do you see about that?
It's great news for Algeria because I think it's even long overdue. So I'm glad that finally it has happened. And to focus on culture is a major thing for me because Algeria is one of the finest countries when you talk about the Northern African countries.
Yeah.
So
and so before you come in, so let's look. I would like to mention the, sorry to cut you, I would like to look at the importance of this institution. As mentioned in the story, it says it's going to ensure that their cultural heritage and even the tradition is embedded in the future of cinema. And when we look at them, and currently people are calling for Africa to be the people to African to be the people to say their own stories rather than focusing on the international curriculum.
Exactly.
So I when I saw that their cultural heritage and traditions will be embedded in their curriculum, I was really happy. So here they are not going to look at the Hollywood curriculum. They are not going to look at so do you get what I'm saying? The international curriculum, but it's going to be contextualized. They're going to teach them what their culture is. They're going to teach them how they can use their culture to tell a story. And this even is going to continue generations after generations after generations. So very soon, Africans will be able to tell their story. So you can continue with what you're saying.
Yeah. So I would just liken this to what India has done for what they call Bollywood. When you watch that, you know you are watching something from India.
Yeah.
And the culture is embedded in their traditions. Everything, not everything in there tells you this is coming from India. There's not a thing you see there that does not define the Indian culture. So I'm excited to know that this is what the focus is going to be on, because I feel like the story of Africa has not been told enough or well enough. So for Algeria to be able to do this, it's a big deal for me. So thumbs up to them, and then they should just keep the focus, and I hope that eventually they will not shift focus from there. So and other African countries should do the same. If there's any African country that hasn't got a specialized institution for things of this nature, it's about time. Because when you look at a country like Nigeria, what let me say, I'm looking for the word, this industry has brought them, cinema, music, whatever. If you look at how much money has contributed to the Nigerian economy, it's so huge. It's so huge. True. So I think that is a good thing. So other African countries who may not have institutions specializing in things of this nature must take a cue from this and then do similar.
Yeah. So reading the story, I noticed one challenge. You know, it's a new institution. So how are they going to, especially with the staff, get adequate and then skilled? Because one of the challenges the country is facing is the brain drain, where a lot of students and even lecturers and even staff have already migrated from the country to the international world to find greener pastures. So another one challenge they made notice or identified is how to get the adequate staff for the institution.
I think it's doable, because I think that the brain drain has happened because probably people who are skilled in this sector have left because
there was no opportunity.
There were no institutions of this nature. Some people would like to come back home to definitely try to help. So once the government is setting up for the Algerian people, they should make sure that they are getting their people who have gone out of the country, even if they are not coming back full time, and they can
collaborate with them.
Exactly.
Diaspora.
Exactly. And the world has evolved now. Even if you have to do
things online to make
they
sure
get
that
home.
these people can lecture from
Yeah.
wherever they are.
Yeah.
I think there is a solution.
It's doable.
So they should just make use of the people. And even for a start, if you can't even get everybody to be an Algerian national, get people who are not.
Yeah.
In the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, these people who have been trained will become the people training the next generation of Algerians in the same industry, and any other person who's from any other African country that will wish to go there. So I don't think they should limit themselves to the issue of the brain drain. I know it's a challenge, but there's definitely a way around it. It might come with some initial cost.
Yeah.
But once you have gone beyond the initial cost, the rest of it should be easy.
I agree with you. So congratulations to Algeria.
Yeah.
And also we urge them to focus on the opportunities and the positive side and not just the challenges. We'll go for a quick break and we'll be back with stories from the sports world.
So Africa, keep watching AAU TV.
This is Hello Africa on AAU TV.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
You're welcome back from the break. Thank you for sticking with us. This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Purified Water and Bico Drinks. Now, to our world of sports, Phil, what do you have for our viewers?
Well, we'll talk about some trending news in sports, and then this weekend it was more of international football, so we'll just talk about some scores from the UEFA Nations League and then AFCON qualifiers. So we'll begin with trending news, and Andres Iniesta retires from football at the age of 40. The veteran midfielder has been a free agent for several months after leaving his latest club, Emirates FC Club, and has decided to draw his career to an end. Iniesta is one of, if not the most beloved of Spain's footballers, having scored the winning goal in the 2010 World Cup final, the only goal of the game, 4 minutes from the end of the extra time to secure a first ever world title for La Roja. He was also key in their victories at Euro 2008 and 2012. Not many Barcelona players have either the medals nor the affection possessed by Iniesta either. Moving to the club as a child from Albacete in the south of Spain, he came through the La Masia system and became a first-team regular in his mid-20s. From the arrival of Pep Guardiola onwards, he became era-defining. So Andres Iniesta has finally retired from active football, and he is hoping to go into coaching, and he has already expressed interest to be a coach or a manager for his beloved club, Barcelona.
Great.
And still on some retirement, Joel Matip, former Liverpool and Cameroon defender, has announced his retirement from football as well. The centre-back departed the Reds in the summer after an 8-year spell that included 201 appearances and multiple major honors with the club. Signed on a free transfer from Schalke 04 in 2016, Matip was a key figure throughout Jurgen Klopp's reign as manager, helping to secure a return to Champions League football and starring in the run to glory in the competition in 2019, including an assist for Divock Origi in the Madrid final against Tottenham Hotspur. Matip featured as Liverpool went on to add the UEFA Super Cup and was involved in 9 Premier League games in 2019-2020 season as Klopp's team emphatically ended the club's 30-year wait to be crowned English champions again. So Matip also has retired from football, but he retired a bit early at the age of 33, and he's been affected with a lot of injuries, so it makes sense for him to want to.
It's recommended for him to stay back.
And then still on Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp has returned to football, but this time as Red Bull's head of global soccer. So Jurgen Klopp has landed his first role since leaving Liverpool. With the German when the German announced this, was announced as the head of global soccer for Red Bull. Klopp, who ended his 9-year stint at Anfield earlier this year, has signed a long-term deal with the energy drinks brand, believed to be a 5-year contract. He will be responsible at the strategic management level for Red Bull's international network of clubs, which includes RB Leipzig, New York Red Bulls, Red Bull Bragantino, and Red Bull Salzburg, who are managed by former assistant Pep Linders. So that's for Jurgen Klopp as well. He's probably tired of being bored and staying at home after he left Liverpool, so he's moved on to work with Red Bull. Okay. And so we'll go on some international updates. We'll begin with the UEFA Nations League. And France won 4-1 in their third game in the group against Israel without their captain Kylian Mbappe, who is injured. France are set to play Belgium this evening, in a tasty clash. So we'll see how that goes. Surprisingly, England lost 2-1 at home against Greece, who seem to have found a good form. The Greek side again won their second game in the break by 2-0 when they played against Ireland. England found their rhythm in their second game when they won 3-1 against Finland in Helsinki over the weekend. Germany also beat Bosnia by 2-1 in their first game, and they will play against the Netherlands in a mouth-watering encounter this evening, and as they complete their round of matches for this window. And then Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 906th career goal when Portugal beat Poland 3-1 in Warsaw on Saturday. Portugal will play their second game in this window later tonight against Scotland. And then we'll move on quickly to the AFCON qualifiers. And in the AFCON qualifiers, Morocco beat Central African Republic 5-0. Guinea beat Ethiopia 4-1. And Comoros stunned Tunisia by beating them 1-0, even though Tunisia was playing at home. Nigeria also won 1-0 against Libya. And Ghana played a goalless draw against Sudan in Accra. The return leg of the AFCON qualifiers in this window begins today through to tomorrow as Ghana plays against Sudan tomorrow. Right. So we'll see how that goes. And that is news from the sports desk.
So before we end the sports, I would like to make a comment, especially with the retirement. And I really like the fact that they didn't just retire and then sit back or maybe venture into a different profession, but then they want to come back and then share their experience, which is a very good thing. I see John Pensel currently doing that.
The assistant manager for the Black
Stars.
Stars.
He is retired and then coming back to share his experience. And with that, because you have the experience, when you see that the players are not doing something that you used to do, you can, direct them and then be a bit strict on them. Matter when I was there, that was not what I was doing. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a good thing that they are coming back. Iniesta, I really I like Barca is my team. So so I really appreciate him going back, and I really hope we'll see more on that, and also to see Ronaldo. He's like he's
39, still going. He's not said when he's going to retire yet, but we all know this. Whatever has a beginning has an end. So eventually, but he's still going strong, scoring 906
scoring
career goals at 39.
So there's this debate whether him or Lionel Messi being the GOAT when it comes to.
I think both players have earned the right to be the GOATs of their era, because for about 15 to 18 years they have given us like
back to
proper
back, yeah.
rivalry in
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
But funny enough, the two of them are good friends.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But fans of both players will
Will
always
always
make
debate.
their arguments. But I mean, both of them have written their names in the full.
And then to our AFCON qualifiers.
Yes.
Phil,
Yes, yeah.
I must be honest with you. I'm a loyal fan, you know.
Of the Black Stars.
You know, when I love you and I support you,
it's unconditional.
It's genuine, like unconditional, nothing. You can do your things and it's still there. But now, it looks like I am getting disappointed.
Please don't be disappointed.
Because I checked the table, and you know, just like we've been doing calculations and calculating. And
you started
that,
taking your calculator out already.
And I can't see the lights.
You can't see the lights.
I can't see the lights.
Let's be hopeful that tomorrow they'll be able to beat Sudan.
Okay.
I
if
don't
we
know if
beat
it's possible
Sudan,
because now we are playing away from home.
Exactly.
At home we were unable to score a goal. So I don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Honestly. Even if you beat Sudan, you have two more games.
2 more games, yeah. So I don't know how it's going to go. Personally,
if you are scoring, do you think the others are not scoring?
Exactly. Personally, I have not been impressed with the Black Stars lately, but we will see.
And you know,
what happens.
My enemies are getting me. Yeah, my enemies are getting me.
Well, just ask them not to rejoice for too long. Anything is possible in football, as far as I'm concerned. In modern day football, you can't rejoice over somebody's downfall for long.
My enemies are getting me. My director is going to. Anyway, so that is all for the sports news, and we are going to just wrap up for today. Today we've had some interesting discussions, especially on the Galamsey, the fight against Galamsey, where we have some Catholic leaders, and also the University UTAG, the University of Teachers Association of Ghana, fighting or joining hands to fight against the illegal mining. We also saw the current information or confirmed cases with regards to the mpox. We have Zambia confirming its first case, and then Ghana also recording its second case from the first one. And we also celebrated the first woman to be appointed as the managing director of Safran Aircraft Engine Services. And then with the news portal reviews, we looked at the World University rankings, as well as the African Union calling universities to fund their own research, among others. Thank you for joining us for today, and we hope you did enjoy the discussions. If you just joined, you can follow the discussions on our social media handles at Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube. We are waiting for your comments and also your predictions for the upcoming games, especially the AFCON qualifications. My name is Isabella Teta Henakwa, and I've been doing this with my co-host
Philemon Edwards.
Have a nice day.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.